Hey everyone, PonyStampede's Patrick Engel here at Moody Coliseum after SMU's 69-49 win against UConn. Moves SMU to 6-1 in AAC play. They'll take on Houston here next on Saturday, and 6-1 now in sole possession of second place in the AAC, a half game ahead of UCF, who SMU will play at on Wednesday. So, how SMU did it. Really one of the better defensive games here for SMU for about 35 minutes here. 15 points allowed to UConn in the first half. That's a season low points allowed for SMU. And they really did it by limiting UConn's best players. Jalen Adams had 3 total points, did not score at all in the first half, was 0 for his first 9 from the field. SMU really did a good job limiting him, even though he did miss a couple of shots he usually would make. Amita Brima, really not much of a factor at all. He did get in some foul trouble, only played about 15 minutes, and I think if you looked at it again, you'd see some of the fouls on him, on UConn in general, or some fouls that weren't called to benefit UConn were a little ticky-tack. I don't think Kevin Ollie's going to be pleased when he watches the film of this and sees some of these that weren't called. But anyway, SMU did a really good job against Brima on both ends of the floor. Gave him some double teams when he was on offense. He did score his lone basket over when SMU helped there, just shot over some guys, but largely not much of a factor when he was on the floor on the offensive end. Defensively, they were able to get him out from under the rim a little bit, get some guards going by him. A couple times, he just was too slow for some of SMU's guards that went right by him for a dunk or a layup. And Rodney Purvis, too, a guy who's had 2 of his best scoring nights of his career against SMU. 2 points, did not make a field goal. Both of those came at the foul line. And he picked up a couple fouls in the first half, and he came back in with 2 fouls as the game was kind of slipping away a little bit from UConn. And not even a minute after he came back in later in the first half, Jere Foster went right at him for a dunk, not really knowing that he could not really contest it, and Purvis did not really contest it, just kind of let him go right by. So that was just good recognition there, really attacking and trying to expose UConn's best players, really, and they were able to do that tonight. So Ben Moore, double-double, 14 points, 13 rebounds. Thought he played a really good defensive game, helping a little bit on Brima or in the paint a couple times, just being able to limit any second chances for UConn there. There was one early in the second half where he denied a guy who just got an offensive rebound on the ball. He had to pass it back out, and then Moore went right up and helped on that, forced a miss. So I thought a really good defensive game from him. So really, in the 3rd straight year where SMU has blown out UConn in this building. Had a little struggles on the road there, lost the last 2. But even though UConn down this year, to say they fall to 7-11 on the year after tonight's loss, still a pretty good win for SMU here. Another good defensive effort after some times against Cincinnati and Tulane, where they kept it a little closer against Tulane than you would have thought it should be, and after a rough defensive first half against Cincinnati a week ago. So SMU plays here in 2 days against Houston at 5 p.m. Houston has to actually do the same quick turnaround. They're playing at home against Memphis right now. So SMU, Houston at Moody, 5 p.m. on Saturday.